be an extremely eventful 24 hours for this man, for the Apex Predator, who awaits his next challenge.
And his opponent, accompanied to the ring by WWE Hall of Famer, Special Counsel, the Wise Man, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa, weighing in at 220 pounds, Tama Tonga!
Draw any attention away from the matchup you're about to witness, but Wade, I can't help but notice, I have never seen Paul Heyman look as nervous as he does right now and has for the past several weeks.
Yeah, Paul Heyman is basically the Bloodline's answer to Manchester United's Eric Ten Hag. Still got a job, but for how much longer? It has to be said, Heyman is on thin ice ever since the interim leader, Solo Sikoa, took over.
Looking to acquire more power on behalf of the Bloodline and could do just that as king. A man who is perhaps more hyena than he is human. An absolutely vicious, sadistic competitor who is hell-bent on taking down the Viper tonight.
Tama Tonga is an uncontrollable, primal beast. Growls like an animal, is bloodthirsty, and what a pickup for the Bloodline, instigated by Solo Sikoa.
He is stoic. The ring general looking on, watching tonight's proceedings unfold. Solo taking another glimpse at the beautiful King's crown. And here comes Tama Tonga out of the gate, trying to get the upper hand, throwing lefts and rights at Orton off of the opening bell.
Straight into the firefight once he hears that bell. This is exactly where Tama Tonga lives. This is where he thrives.
These vicious headbutts from Tonga taking down the Viper, and Orton doesn't know what hit him.
Being attacked by a reckless thug.
Huge fall-away slam from Orton. You can see that Solo Sikoa not pleased with the events occurring inside of the ring right now as Tama Tonga driven into the ring post and coast to coast into the other.
Game plan immediately out of the window. It was supposed to be that rush blitzkrieg type of start to the matchup, but Randy Orton simply too good. What a classic that man is.
Much like you alluded to earlier, there isn't much, if anything, left in this industry that Randy Orton hasn't seen or accomplished.
Never met anyone quite like Tama Tonga. I think they broke the mold when Tama Tonga was born.
Randy Orton with carefully measured right hands between the eyes of Tama Tonga. The son of a man who once upon a time was royalty in his own right, Wade.
Yeah, that's right, King Haku. Perhaps universally seen as the toughest man in the history of professional wrestling. What a claim that is, and I have never met anyone who would argue with it.
The good news is Haku didn't raise sons, Haku raised mercenaries, and they're both running around doing the bidding of Solo Sikoa. Tama Tonga able to avoid disaster and just clip the leg of Orton.
The leg that has given Orton cause for concern over the past couple of weeks in the King of the Ring tournament, and it's cause for concern right now. Tama Tonga in full flow.
It is a semi-final matchup in the King of the Ring tournament as Randy Orton goes one-on-one with Tama Tonga of the Bloodline. One of these two men will advance to the finals and face Gunther to become King of the Ring tomorrow. Of course, King and Queen of the Ring streaming live tomorrow, WWE on Peacock, 1 p.m. start time in the East in the United States. And Tama Tonga right now has Orton exactly where he wants him. Frog splash, nobody home. Tonga was looking to destroy Randy's knee, but the Viper was a step ahead.
Past 3 or 4 minutes have been pure Tama Tonga. The durability of Orton may be thin on the ground at this point thanks to that damaged knee, but he is keeping on fighting.
You can scout this, there is rarely an answer for it, but Tama Tonga may have found it.
Every shot on that knee, just like thunderbolt shooting up the leg and spine of Randy Orton, grimacing in agony. That is the last place you want to be when you're in there with the butcher of the Bloodline, Tama Tonga.
Brutal clubbing blows across the chest of Randy Orton, and now a sleeper hold applied.
There's a big smirk on the face of Tama Tonga, who is in his element in this kind of match.
Orton doing his best to fight out of the sleeper hold, but Tonga very wisely putting all of his body weight across the back and shoulders of Randy, forcing the Viper to carry them both.
Talked before, Tama Tonga is a smart veteran. He's got about 20 years around the world under his belt, was untouchable by WWE for being such a reckless thug. Somehow he's found his way in.
I'll do you one more. Not only untouchable by WWE, untouchable by the Bloodline standards, Wade. We heard that from the wise man himself. There are reasons you haven't seen Tama Tonga or Tonga Loa in WWE before. Hell, Tonga Loa couldn't even make it through customs because of his past.
But when things don't go your way and you're managing the Bloodline, you have to pivot. You have to make changes. That's exactly what the interim boss did. That is exactly what Solo Sikoa did. He feels he can control Tama Tonga, and so far it has been a match made in heaven.
It has been a very simple yet very effective strategy in the last several moments from Tama Tonga as Gunther looks on stoically.
Gunther probably does not care who he faces tomorrow. He wants these two to rip one another to shreds and just make his pathway to become King of the Ring that much easier.
And as if the stakes weren't already high enough with the King and Queen of the Ring crowns on the line, how about Triple H's announcement yesterday in Riyadh? The winners of both the King and Queen's tournaments will challenge for their respective brands' championship at SummerSlam. That is colossal news, Wade.
Absolutely massive. This is a new era in WWE. The King and Queen of the Ring is getting an additional, much-deserved shine.
Look at Solo trying to soldier Tama Tonga forward, and Orton has now regained a vertical base, even with one bad knee.
You're in the ring with Randy Orton and you write him off. It is the worst mistake you can make. I don't care what you throw at the Viper. He somehow, always gets back up.
Might have taken a little more out of Orton's knee than he realized, delivering the snap power slam. Can the Viper slither into a cover? Randy needs some insurance here. Tama Tonga sent once again out to the ring apron. Counters Orton a second time and dumping the Viper all the way to the floor.
It was a nasty landing. You just saw that slower than usual movement from the Viper thanks to that knee injury. That's all Tama Tonga needed, and he smells blood now.
How about Solo Sikoa out here calling the shots? Oh, wait a minute. Orton went to the eyes. I don't know if Ryan Tran was privy to that one.
Didn't see that one.
This is going to be hard to miss. Across the announce desk, spine first goes Tama Tonga. And did Randy Orton just smile at us, Wade?
Well, we spoke about it earlier. Randy needed to tap into that sadistic, vicious piece of work only he can be.
Unhinged, unpredictable.
How badly do you want it now, Tama Tonga?
You saw the action brought a brief smirk to the face of the ring general. Gunther, who is never afraid of some physicality, particularly when the stakes are at their highest. Gunther will face the winner of this one as Tama Tonga bulldozes Randy into the ropes.
Gunther's opponent tomorrow is getting battered, whomever it may be at the end of this match.
Oh, wait a second. Tonga may have just put himself in harm's way. Vintage Orton.
It's the point in the match you just stop thinking clearly, you go on instincts and put yourself in danger. And there aren't many places in that ring that are safe when you're in there with the Viper.
And you can feel that. The Jeddah Superdome is rumbling right now. Because the Viper is coiled. Orton stalking a fallen Tama Tonga. Big right hand for Solo. Tama Tonga from behind. Shoulders down. Tonga's gonna steal it. No.
Almost enough with the destroy. There it is.
RKO.
Here is your winner, Randy Orton!
And the Apex Predator takes one more giant step toward the throne. What a King of the Ring finale we've got on our hands, Wade.
Massive, massive, massive. Could not get any bigger. Tomorrow, the final of the King of the Ring tournament is set. The Ring General Gunther against that man, the Viper, the man who has almost done it all. Randy Orton.
Two generational talents, but look out! Solo from behind. Just flattened Randy Orton.
The prize fighter.
Kevin Owens coming to the aid of his friend Randy Orton and maybe saving the Viper from certain disaster.
We haven't seen KO in weeks after his beatdown by the Bloodline at Backlash.
When Randy needed him most, Kevin Owens answered the call. But what sort of shape will the Viper be in tomorrow, Wade?
Well, it would have been a lot worse had it not been for the arrival of Kevin Owens. Randy's in with a fighting chance tomorrow night.
The finals are set. Orton versus Gunther for King of the Ring. Valkyria versus Jax for the Queen of the Ring. It all goes down tomorrow. Live from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it's King and Queen of the Ring.